Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is social justice and incarceration, and we're fortunate to have with us Metropolitan Councilperson at Large, Councilperson Jerry Maynard, and he will talk to us about some issues dealing with social justice and incarceration. But before we get involved in that this morning, Councilman, let's have you to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that eventually led you to be the council person at large for the Metropolitan Council. Let's talk about it from that perspective.
First of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your service and for your longevity at Tennessee State University, as well as this show. My name is Jerry Maynard. I am a council person at large. There are 5 council persons who are at large. We represent the entire county. Then there are 35 district council persons who represent their district. I'm a pastor of Southside Community Church in the south side of Nashville. My dad is Bishop Jerry Maynard, and he is the bishop of Cathedral of Praise Church in North Nashville. So we're trying to cover the south side and the north side. I also serve as general counsel for Matthew Walker Comprehensive Health Care Center, and it provides primary health care. It also provides dental care. And then I also serve on the Tennessee Democratic Party's executive committee, and I'm the former deputy chairman of the Tennessee Democratic Party, and I also served as one of the committee members for Barack Obama during the primary and the election, during the general election with the Democratic National Committee. There was a time ago where I had my own radio show and I became a community activist because I saw a lot of the issues that were facing our community, such as joblessness. I saw crime rates going up. I saw that we didn't have affordable housing policies. I saw that we had disparities among healthcare. I saw that we weren't having jobs and economic development in our community, specifically North Nashville. So I began to ask that question, and when I got the answers, I realized that the support and services and resources that the city was giving to other parts of the city, like West Nashville and East Nashville, weren't coming to North Nashville. So I decided to run, and in 2003 I ran for the 21st district. I lost by 21 votes. And then in 2007 I decided to run at large for the entire county. And God blessed us to get over 42,000 votes. In fact, the most votes that I think that any African American has ever received in a county-wide race.
And so you've been involved, and so you are involved in just a whole variety of things outside of the Metropolitan Council.
That is correct.
In a real sense. And
right.
And it's a busy kind of situation that you find yourself in, and we're just glad that you had the time to come by and deal with us.
Thank you.
Now, what we were concerned about, and I guess we can raise this before the first commercial break, is the issue of social justice and incarceration. How would you describe that as an issue that you have to deal with doing whatever you do over the next 3 minutes that we have?
It's really comprehensive. First of all, social justice, in my opinion, is a moral issue. It's a spiritual issue. If you see yourself as a minister, if you see yourself as a person who preaches the word of God, who serves God's people, then you must deal with social justice. Dr. Martin Luther King was a great social justice advocate, but the greatest person who was regarding social justice was Jesus Christ.
Very good.
He came and dealt with social injustice. And so that's what we deal with. But it deals with health care and healthcare disparities. It deals with why are so many African American men and so many African American boys and girls in jail? Why do we have more African American boys in jail than in college? Why do we have so many African American women who have HIV and AIDS? Why are they the #1 ethnic group carrying the HIV/AIDS disease? Why do we have such joblessness that when the unemployment rate is 5% nationwide, it's double in the African American community? When we're dealing with economic development, we see that many times municipalities don't provide contracts to African American owned business. In fact, in Davidson County, we've had 2 disparity studies. The first one showed that less than 1% of all metro contracts went to African Americans and minorities. And then we had another disparity study which showed less than 2% of all metro contracts.
So there's no real discrepancy between 1% and 2%.
That's exactly
when you
right.
recognize that African Americans make up such a large percentage of the population.
Right. In fact, let me say this. So the reason why I'm so involved, the reason why I'm so passionate, is that we look at where we are. When you look at how many businesses do African Americans own in 2009, you look at the health disparities, you look at the dropout rate in high school, you look at joblessness, you look at all these different factors. We're worse off now than we were 30 years ago in certain aspects. And there are other southern cities that have made leaps and bounds, gone leaps and bounds in progress, where Nashville has been stagnant and in some cases gone backwards. So I blame myself. I take ownership of it. And I say, as a leader in the community, as a servant in the community, what can I do in order to try to change that.
Very good. And of course, we're getting ready in about a half a minute for our first commercial break, councilperson. And I continue to call you councilperson because I've dealt with so many women, females, and, and et cetera. And then, so,
you can call me Jerry.
So just Jerry.
You
okay.
can call me Jerry.
But really, and I think that's the kind of information we want, especially dealing with this whole issue of incarceration.
Right.
And I feel that you've got a lot of information that you can give us in reference to that, and we'll get that within the next 15 to 20 seconds after this first commercial break. Then we'll give you an opportunity to start up top dealing with that issue. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.